One of the most common questions I get is, Rob, what in the world is that behind you? It is baseball card wallpaper, and here's the origin story behind it. Growing up in Pittsburgh, I was a huge sports fan and I loved collecting cards. And these are my common baseball, basketball, and football cards that I had as a kid. And I brought them through me from college all the way to now in 2 giant black trash bags. Every place that I moved, I still kept them with me because I did not want to throw my childhood away. So when I started Bacon Sports, I started to do a lot more video work. And with that, I had to have a good backdrop. So all of a sudden I'm like, all right, you know what would be cool? I've got all these common cards from when I was a kid. Let me create baseball card wallpaper. So what I had to do now is figure out how in the world do you create this? So I went to Home Depot and I got that big painter's paper. I didn't even know what it was. It's just a giant roll of like khaki looking paper. And what I ended up doing was creating sheets of it. And I believe it was something like 20 by 15 or something. So 20 cards down and 15 cards this way. And then I got some spray adhesive and I sprayed it and I put 1 card down and 1 card down. And what I did is I did the top row and then the side row so that I had a grid in which I could fill this out. So once I filled one of them, then all of a sudden I filled the remaining 8 sections of the baseball card wallpaper. And here's the real lesson behind this. I am someone who is always looking at attention to detail, and specifically on video. We see it so often, people on TV, and I look in the backdrop and they look like they're at some crappy hotel or whatever's behind them. It is unappealing. And that is not how I get down, because everything you do is an opportunity to create a positive brand interaction, and everything you do is a reflection of your brand. So for me, in this baseball card wallpaper, it very much speaks to who I am and who Bacon Sports is, and it's gonna resonate with a specific section of my audience. So if you're starting to do video, I strongly urge you to think about what your backdrop is. All it takes is a little bit of intention and putting a small project together so that you can rinse and repeat it over and over and over again. And as a call to action, if you collected cards as a kid, I would love to hear who was your guy, who was the one player that you always collected. For me, it was the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas. Boom shakalaka.